Brace yourselves for a thrilling journey as we dive deep into a realm where darkness is conquered by light, where the power of faith transforms the most hardened hearts, and the might of divine mercy redeems even the most wayward souls. We start with Nicky Cruz, born into a household deeply rooted in spiritualism and witchcraft in Puerto Rico. Nicky Cruz had a challenging upbringing. His parents reportedly considered him the son of Satan, causing him to experience deep emotional trauma and rejection from an early age.
Sí, solamente había heredado maldición y maldición tenía. Nicky estaba posesionado al demonio. Claro que la familia también lo estaba.
At 15, he was sent to New York to live with his older brother. But the harsh realities of life in the city and the lingering scars of his upbringing soon led him into a life of crime. Cruz found a sense of belonging in the violent world of gangs, and he quickly rose to prominence within the notorious Mau Maus. Operating primarily in the Brooklyn area, the Mau Maus were known for their violent criminal activities, which included robberies, territorial fights, and more. Cruz himself was involved in numerous acts of violence, and he quickly gained a reputation as one of the most feared gang leaders in the city. As a gang leader, Cruz's life was marked by a cycle of violence, retaliation, and close encounters with death. He and his gang were involved in a war with a rival gang, the Sand Street Angels, resulting in several brutal confrontations. Despite this dark period in his life, Cruz's journey was about to take a dramatic turn. In the midst of his life of crime, he encountered David Wilkerson, a street preacher who had moved from rural Pennsylvania to the bustling city of New York. Wilkerson made it his mission to reach out to the city's most troubled youth, which inevitably led him to Cruz. Despite a rocky start and threats on Wilkerson's life, his message of love, redemption, and the power of faith to change lives ultimately resonated with Cruz. His life profoundly transformed, Cruz turned away from his violent past and devoted his life to spreading the Christian message to troubled youth, becoming a renowned evangelist. He has written several books recounting his experiences, including the renowned Run, Baby, Run, which has been translated into more than 40 languages and has impacted the lives of many around the world. Nicky Cruz's story serves as a testament to the redemptive power of faith and love. Charles Chuck Colson, a man once known as the evil genius within the Nixon administration. A highly influential figure in the Nixon administration, he was known for his aggressive political tactics, earning the nickname Nixon's Hatchet Man. Yet his time in the White House ended in scandal. Caught up in the infamous Watergate scandal, Colson pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice for attempting to defame Pentagon Papers defendant Daniel Ellsberg. He was sentenced to a 1 to 3 year prison term, of which he served 7 months. But it was during this downfall that Colson's life took a dramatic turn. Prior to his sentencing, he experienced a religious conversion after reading Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. His newfound faith sparked a transformation that continued even after his release from prison. Committed to helping others like him, Colson established the Prison Fellowship in 1976. This Christian outreach program for inmates, ex-prisoners, and their families grew to be the largest of its kind in the United States. Colson's influence didn't stop there. He also founded the Chuck Colson Center for Christian Worldview, a research and training center focused on Christian worldview teaching. Furthermore, his radio broadcast Breakpoint reached millions with its socially conservative commentary. Despite the controversy surrounding his political career, Colson's later life was marked by a dedication to evangelism and prison reform. He received numerous humanitarian awards for his work, and even though he passed away in 2012, his legacy continues. Colson's life is a testament to the transformative power of faith. From the pinnacle of political power to the depths of scandal and imprisonment, he emerged as a new man, steadfast in his commitment to serving others. His story continues to inspire many around the world. Another story worth mentioning is Ashley Smith, well known for her role in the capture of Brian Nichols, a man who escaped from a courthouse in Atlanta, Georgia in 2005, where he was on trial for rape. During his escape, Nichols murdered the judge presiding over his trial, a court reporter, a sheriff's deputy, and later a federal agent. In the early morning hours of March 12, 2005, Nichols forced his way into Ashley Smith's apartment, where he held her hostage for 7 hours. During this time, Smith, a recovering methamphetamine addict, read portions of Pastor Rick Warren's best-selling book, The Purpose-Driven Life, to Nichols. The conversations that ensued reportedly led Nichols to let Smith leave her apartment to see her daughter, at which point Smith called,
Brian Nichols came to my house at 2 o'clock last night.
That 911 call ended the manhunt.
Nichols was captured without further bloodshed. Smith's role in the peaceful resolution of the hostage situation brought her national attention. After the event, Smith credited her faith and the reading of The Purpose-Driven Life for giving her the courage to empathize with Nichols and eventually defuse the situation. She has since written a book titled Unlikely Angel, detailing her experience, her struggles with addiction, and her path to finding faith.
The unforgettable story of a young widow held hostage at gunpoint. Her captor, an escaped killer on a rampage. But the captive somehow manages to turn desperation into salvation for them both. A new movie bringing their dramatic story to the big screen tonight as the murderer's mother tells my Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts about his remorse and gratitude.
Then there's Michael Franzese, a former New York mobster. Born into one of the 5 main New York City mafia families, the Colombos, Franzese was immersed in a world of crime and power from an early age. His father, John "Sonny" Franzese, was a notorious underboss in the Colombo crime family. The turning point in his life came after he met Camille Garcia, a devout Christian. They fell in love, and her influence ultimately led him to renounce his ties to the mob and embrace the Christian faith. This is no small feat, given the deadly consequences usually associated with leaving the mafia. In prison, he made the decision to quit the mafia, pled guilty to 2 counts, and got a 10-year prison sentence. After serving his time, he dedicated himself to a legal and upright lifestyle. He became a motivational speaker and author, focusing on helping others avoid the mistakes he made. Franzese's most notable work includes his autobiography, Blood Covenant, which offers an inside look at the world of organized crime and his journey out of it. He also founded the Breaking Out Foundation, an organization that helps young people break free from the cycle of crime and addiction. Despite the potential danger associated with his departure from the mafia, Franzese has managed to defy the odds and use his unique life experience for good. His story of redemption and transformation continues to inspire countless people around the world. And let's not forget Johnny Lee Clary, a former leader of the Ku Klux Klan. Johnny Lee Clary led a fascinating and transformative life. He was born and raised in the racially tense environment of Oklahoma in the 1950s. Clary's upbringing was not a pleasant one. His father was an alcoholic, his mother committed suicide when he was just 11 years old, and he was subsequently taken in by his sister and her abusive husband. Such an environment pushed him into the claws of the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist group, when he was a teenager. Driven by a desire for acceptance and a sense of purpose, Clary quickly rose through the ranks to become an imperial wizard of the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, one of the most violent branches of the KKK. He took part in many activities fueled by hatred and racism, even becoming a prominent voice for their cause through public appearances and media. His turning point came after a series of personal tragedies and encounters that made him rethink his beliefs. One such incident involved Reverend Wade Watts, an African-American minister and civil rights activist. Clary intended to scare Watts by burning a cross in his yard, but Watts responded with kindness and said he'd pray for him. This encounter profoundly affected Clary. The moment of true transformation came when Clary stumbled upon a televised Christian program while contemplating suicide. The preacher's message on the show resonated with him deeply, and he decided to give his life to Christ. From that moment, he left the KKK and began a journey of transformation, ultimately becoming a Christian evangelist. His life took another unexpected turn when he became the first white elder in the predominantly African-American denomination of the Church of God in Christ. He also made it his mission to repair the damage he had caused, working actively to promote racial harmony and acceptance. Johnny Lee Clary passed away in 2014, but his story continues to serve as a powerful testament to the transformative power of love, forgiveness, and redemption. His life stands as evidence that no one is beyond the reach of God's love and grace, and that even the most hardened hearts can be turned around. George Foreman, renowned as a heavyweight boxing champion, was known for his aggressive style and incredible punching power in his youth. Born into poverty in Texas, Foreman had a troubled upbringing and was involved in street fights and petty crime as a teenager. He found his way out of this life path when he discovered his talent for boxing. Foreman's career took off when he won the gold medal at the 1968 Olympics, and he went on to become the heavyweight champion of the world. However, his career took a hit when he lost to Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974. This loss significantly affected Foreman's mental health, and he became angry and more violent in and out of the ring. Everything changed in 1977, following a loss to Jimmy Young. After the match, Foreman had a near-death experience where he said he encountered God. This profound spiritual experience led him to become a born-again Christian. He retired from professional boxing and became an ordained minister, dedicating his life to his family, faith, and his community service work. Foreman made a remarkable comeback to professional boxing after a decade of retirement. He returned to the ring in his late 40s, an age considered well beyond a boxer's prime. Still, against all odds, Foreman regained his heavyweight title in 1994 at the age of 45, making him the oldest heavyweight champion in the history of boxing. He was a changed man, demonstrating a much calmer and jovial demeanor compared to his earlier career. Foreman's story is a testament to the transformative power of faith. Despite his fame and success in boxing, he found his true calling in serving others and sharing his faith. His life journey showcases that even those who seem to have it all can experience a spiritual awakening leading to profound personal change. Friends, these are not just stories but testimonies of God's boundless love and mercy. As we journey together on this path of faith, let's remember it's never too late to seek God's forgiveness and make a U-turn towards His grace. In the face of darkness, we find the courage to embrace the light. In the midst of chaos, we discover the serenity of peace. And in the battle between good and evil, let us always remember it is never too late to choose the right path. Remember, there's always hope, even in the darkest of places. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. And as always, stay blessed and keep seeking the glorious mandate that God has set for each one of us. Until next time, this is your friend at Glorious Mandate signing off.